Okay, y'all, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna wash my face and I'm gonna get ready to go to sleep, right? I wanna say this. It's okay to cry, right? In some scenarios, in some situations, we've been told that crying is a sign of weakness, but it's not. Crying is cleansing, crying is a relief. There's nothing wrong with crying. It's also okay for us to understand that every day we're not going to always have good days, and some things are going to take us under and some things are going to take us out, but it does not mean that we're going to give up. It does not mean that we're not going to have a better day after we have a bad one. That's what it don't mean. And sometimes people like to make you feel bad because you have a bad day. They try to tell you you don't trust God and you don't believe that God will do it. But even Jesus wept, right? And he already know we have feelings and emotions, and he already know that some days are going to be better than others. That's it, and that's all. So if you're going through something, if you're dealing with something, be honest with yourself first. That's what I was on yesterday. I acknowledged that I was angry. And in my being angry about the apartment and everything else that was trickling down with that situation, it was a pile up. And I was overflowing. Plus, I had the work situation going on. I'm trying to make sure I get myself situated. And then to have planned good of how you're going to process your stuff out and get set up, and then to go to a place and it's not what you sign up for. It's very disheartening. And so in life, we go through some things. People walk out of our lives. People transition out of our lives. We lose jobs. We lose apartments. We lose houses. We lose friends. We lose cars. We lose a lot of things. And sometimes, even myself, I'm guilty. We get to ourselves and we soak and we store. And in our soaking, because we have these problems going on, we soak and we store. We store the problems, right? We keep them to ourselves because we don't want nobody to make it seem like we're weak. We don't have faith. And because you have feelings and emotions don't mean that you'll have faith all the time. And it definitely don't mean that you're weak, right? But it does show that you are a human being, that you feel what you're going through. Your emotions are a result of a heartbreak or upset or a disconnect or a walk away, whatever it may be. You're a human being and you have to give yourself a pass when you're going through some things. So I'm never going to apologize about my authentic emotions. I'm never going to apologize for me being human. I'm never going to apologize for how I feel. And I'm never going to apologize when I cry. I'm never going to apologize for that, right? Because it helps me. May not do nothing for you. And when you cry, it ain't going to do nothing for nobody else. And that's what we have to understand. When we cry, it does nothing for nobody else, but it does everything for you. It is cleansing. It is a relief, even though you get a snotty nose and puffy eyes, you know, but you get what you need. You have to do what you have to do, because whether we realize not, holding all that stuff in can cause you have a stroke, blood pressure going through the roof, because you don't know how to relieve. That cry, that yell, that scream is your release mechanism. You know how you put the emergency brake on your car, and then before you get ready to drive the car and put it in drive, you have to take that emergency brake off. And so when we go through so many things in life, we have so many disappointments, ups and downs, ins and outs, people lying, cheating, manipulate, all manner of things that's happening in our life. And at that time, we have our emergency brake on and we parked, but we're soaking in everything that's coming in our direction. Our kids are not acting right. Our parents don't treat us right. The people that we love don't treat us like family and friends don't treat us right. Right? They're not treating you right at work. You got all these things that's going on with you. You got bill problems. You got more bills than you got money. Your health is not up to par. And so your emergency brake is on. But in life, because the weight can become and is so heavy, we have to release the emergency brake. And that release is crying. That release is yelling. That relief is doing whatever you need to do for you to get the relief that you need to get for you. So don't apologize for your feelings and emotions. You are entitled to them. You deserve the relief. And some of y'all just need to sit down and cry until you feel better. I promise you. I cried and then I went to sleep. But that don't mean I give up on anything because you cry. Don't mean you give up on the fight. Because you cry doesn't mean that you don't have faith. And because you cry does not mean that you don't believe that things are going to get better and that they are going to be better. So let me encourage you in the middle of your storm. Just know whatever you're going through, whatever it is, and whoever it is, you going to be all right. Yep, it's just a rough patch. It's a rough road. It's a steep hill that you have to climb and walk over. But guess what? Keep walking. Keep fighting the good fight. You going to be all right. I promise you. You may not see it today. You may not see it tomorrow. But you going to be all right. And when it's time for you to release that emergency brake of them tears, just let them flow. Let them flow. You got to get to yourself and cry, baby. Get to yourself and cry. You have to do what you have to do for you. The relief don't help nobody else. The release helps you. And that's the most important thing, because guess what? Stress kills. It's a silent killer. So do what you got to do for you. And never apologize for your emotions, because I don't.